The only years that anybody's ever seen were a couple of years when he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax. So if he's paid zero.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton sparring at Monday night's presidential debate over Trump not releasing his tax returns. Welcome to your Tuesday lunch break, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. Trump's answer to Clinton's claim that Trump paid no income taxes for certain years. His reply, as we heard there, that makes me smart, setting off social media and focusing more scrutiny on the Republican candidate. Joining us to discuss is WSJ economics editor Sudeep Reddy, who joins us from Washington. Welcome, Sudeep. The two were arguing over tax returns Trump did release from the early 90s and earlier that were scrutinized, showing that he did not pay taxes during that period. Is that correct?
That's right. There was a certain period he had to turn over his financial information as he was applying to get a casino. And that information, which we have reported on, has shown that Donald Trump for certain years did not pay federal taxes. That created obviously a moment in the debate and also after the debate, creating questions about whether Donald Trump has actually ever paid federal taxes. He has since said yes, he has, and his spokeswoman has had to clarify that he was only talking about a handful of years, but it just elevated the attention on this big question.
Well, give us an example of scenarios in which that would be legal. Did he report negative income during those years? How would it be legal to not pay any taxes?
Absolutely. He reported negative income. Donald Trump obviously has a very large and complicated business. He has made that very clear all along. And as a real estate developer in particular, he's going to have deductions some years. He's going to carry over capital gains. There's a lot that goes on in the taxation of a real estate company. And he's got a lot of lawyers who have to deal with that. So that's how it's all wrapped up. And there's certainly certain years where you wouldn't have. But that's why there's so much pressure on him and so many other presidential candidates to release tax returns so people can see in full what actually was paid over time, and the calculations could be done that way.
Absolutely. And he is still standing firm on not releasing tax returns from more recent years. Remind us why.
This is an issue that has dogged Donald Trump, but it's actually dogged other presidential candidates who were particularly wealthy. And it goes all the way back to Richard Nixon. His famous "I'm not a crook" line started around his tax returns. And since 1976, we've seen every presidential candidate actually release them in some form. So this particular case goes to understanding Trump's business and Trump's claims about his charitable contributions, his wealth. And that's where Hillary Clinton knew he is particularly sensitive, because he's gone through lawsuits over these issues. He's gone through scrutiny over this question about his wealth and about his charitable contributions. And so she knew exactly how to get under his skin, and did in this case, because Donald Trump has said throughout the campaign that he is under audit by the IRS. His tax returns since 2008 are under audit, and on the advice of his lawyers, he's not releasing them. There have been other arguments from his family and from his campaign that releasing them would just distract from his broader message. But the fact is that he is trying to avoid releasing them, he says, until the audit is over.
But of course, being under audit is not a precondition for not releasing your tax. The IRS says he's free to release them, correct?
Absolutely. The IRS says that they're his returns. Most lawyers would say it's probably not a good idea to release your returns when you're under audit, because they could essentially be crowdsourced and people could find problems with them.
Right.
But this is obviously a special case where somebody is running for president of the United States, and there are questions about his charitable contributions, his other claims about his wealth, and there's a transparency issue
Sure.
here that goes to the core of the campaign.
Could it also reveal business associations he has that could be compromising?
It absolutely could show what some of those relationships are. There are going to be hundreds of documents on a tax return that would show all of that. And this transparency question, which is hitting both candidates,
Sure.
Donald Trump immediately volleyed back and said, well, I'll release my tax returns when you release your 30,000 emails that we haven't seen. And it's a little surprising that he didn't go and try to hit Hillary Clinton on the Clinton Foundation's transparency.
Right.
I'm sure we're going to see that in a future debate. But this is all wrapped up in the question of transparency and the trustworthiness of the candidates when the American people are judging them.
A big issue in this election, for sure. Thank you so much, Sudeep, for that.